I want you to think of a song that you've heard recently. I know it's hard, but just choose one. Okay, got it? Cool. What does it sound like? Maybe you've heard it a billion times, or for the first time yesterday, either way. What does it sound like? Nice, dubstep. What does it sound like? Upbeat. Happy, lots of happy, I like that. All right, now I want you to think a little bit about the lyrics. There might be a line in there that you sing in every shower, or you didn't hear anything at all. Okay, last question. What did that sound look like? I know, weird question. What does the sound look like? Except for me, it's not. You see, for as long as I can remember, I've been able to see music. Now, people have a lot of questions at this point. Is it all sounds? Yes. Is it always the same? No. Is it distracting? Yeah, but in the best way. But mostly, what does it look like? Well, it looks a little like this. Some mornings, my mother's voice looks entirely like a hula hoop. Sometimes the rustling of tree leaves looks like an empty stadium. And music. In each song, there is a tiny movie, a miniature world that unfolds crease by crease. For example, this song looks like peanut butter. Specifically, it looks like the unopened jar that sat in my kitchen cabinet for months while I fought my eating disorder. This phrase looks like gray, the color gray that absorbs everything. And the drop looks like running mile number 5. It looks like feet dragging on the pavement, moving on a completely empty stomach. Wait for it. Right here. See it? As a kid, I can remember looking out the window on long car rides and watching the music play from the radio. As a teenager battling depression, the songs I often saw convinced me to fight another day. And nowadays, seeing music is helping me write a novel. It helps me do my job, go jogging, and makes an hour alone in my brain pretty interesting. It turns out, though, that most people don't see music. I remember my mother asking my little sister and I to describe songs we heard on the radio in our old Jetta, and the worlds that came to my mind were instant and rich. They were battlefields and cities, ballerinas and sports stars. And my sister's ideas, well, mostly she just stared out the window. I didn't know that sound wasn't as tied to sight as well, sight. And so came a number of interactions with confused faces and judging eyes and childhood bullies. I learned to keep all of this to myself. Even now, I'm a little bit nervous sharing it with you. Now you might be thinking, cool. Spent a day talking about music, working on music-related projects. This is interesting. But why does it matter? And it's okay, I did too. In writing this Ignite, I wondered for a while if this was a story worth telling. And then someone reminded me. As UIF fellows, we're often tasked with seeing that which is unseeable. We're trained to look at complicated, age-old blocks in massive systems and design solutions to fix them. In other words, as fellows, we are often asked to see the music. Now, seeing the music is incredible. It can turn the mundane into the extraordinary and completely change the way you look at a person or a place or a time. And as UI fellows, being able to see through the mess is a superpower. But we say the hard things here, and this too is a hard thing. Sometimes seeing isn't so fun. I don't know about you, but every so often when things are hard and my brain is tired, I just want to shut it all off. I wish for a brief moment that I couldn't see, that I could live my life in this shelter of normal, and maybe that would be easier. The world is filled with things I wish I could unsee, and monsters I wish I could unknow. Maybe you've gotten there too. A day might come when you wonder when it's all worth it. If fighting the good fight when everyone else seems unmoved is enough. And I can't tell you what sustains you, but I know this. I am better because I see sound. And you are better because you see too. You'll have to learn to make time for this gift. Seasons will change and it will seem simpler to go on as if it didn't exist. There will be people in your life, like those childhood bullies, who don't understand what it is like to truly see. You see, it turns out that many of us are taught to keep the waves as still as possible, and seeing will never do that. It will seem easier to blend in with these people, to keep your questions to yourself. But you will see everywhere. It never goes away. And the pain of this denial serves no one, least of all you. And can I tell you a secret? When you start to say the words out loud, it turns out that other people will too. When I first opened my mouth to sing the worlds I saw, it changed more than just me. Now, I'm not promising that the world will be perfect every time, no. You're making yourself vulnerable in a way that most others never will. But I am telling you that the things you see, make, and say are going to change people. And maybe, one day, you'll help others see the music too. Thank you.